Hey guys, what's up? This is Panzer Dragon, and today we'll be doing the patch 4.20 rundown of the changes. And if you guys watched the patch 4.19 rundown video, you might be wondering where is Maple Street and MIA. Well, Maple Street is actually setting up the computers in his house at the Team 8 house currently, or something like that. And yeah, basically, since we didn't have the full crew, I decided to do. Um, we're actually going to split up this video into two parts. I'm actually going to do this one only on the jungle, and then the other part is going to be everything else. And since I actually know, since I actually tested things in the PBE, I actually have a strong opinion of what I think is good and what I think is bad. So yeah, this patch note isn't going to be theory crafting. Well, this video isn't going to be theory crafting. Everything else is, but the jungle, I'm going to have a strong opinion on everything that I've tested and played with. So expect to see a lot of strong opinions. And yeah, so anyways, with all of that being said, I think I've cleared up everything. Let's begin. Okay, so the Baron spawns at 20 minutes instead of 15 minutes. Honestly, did you ever take it at 15 minutes? Probably not. So unless you're new and did some setup where you and Tryndamere soloed at 15 minutes, then maybe, but this doesn't really matter to me. And also Baron's super strong, so I don't know if he could have done it at 15 minutes anyways. Now, hopefully you guys have read the patch notes by yourself because I'm not going through everything of what the Baron buff gives. But basically, you get that 40 attack and damage, or attack damage and ability power aura. And all your minions get super buffs where basically you have more siege power, and if your champion's nearby a minion, they get buffs. And yeah, all basically you can just kill towers faster and keep up that pressure on the map. Um, so yeah, just this patch is going to be the jungle, like I said, and right here, it's just the enhanced recall. You get, movement speed buff a bit, more heal, and your recall is from 8 seconds to 4 seconds. So it's really emphasizing on on sieging and just pressuring the map. So whenever you're a Baron buff, just try and keep that pressure up. Um, you can read that by yourself because I don't think I should go over all of it. Or if you could just pause the video, that's fine with me. So next one, the next thing I want to be going over is the dragon. So right here, plus 8% total attack damage and ability power. Cool. I'm not sure what it was. It's kind of a mini Baron buff of season 4, 3, 2, and 1. So that's at one stack. And this one, damage to minions and monsters. I guess it's better for pushing waves, of course, but I think this one is probably the one that's gonna stand out to me most. So on 80 carry, holy shit, okay, I just had a mind blown, but basically on 80 carries, this is gonna be really good for kiting people. You're getting, I think static shift is 6% and phantom dancer is 5% movement speed. So yeah, having 5% more movement speed on an 80 carry is super good. So definitely when you have 3 stacks, it really hurts. And right here is the aspect of the dragon doing 150 true damage over 5 seconds, or 30 true damage per second, and it lasts for 180 seconds when you're doing damage to someone. Also, you double the other bonuses. So if you basically have 5 stacks, you should win the game. Otherwise, your team sucks. So if you ever get 5 stacks, yeah, and you lose, just say my team sucks. Because this buff right here is just super strong. I don't see how you could lose. Even when you're behind, it just seems very strong. Although if you are behind, I'm pretty sure you won't have 5 stacks. So yeah. Also, it doesn't give global gold, so it's not kind of that objective anymore. For the snowballing, it's more of a help, like buffs and stuff. But anyways, and also the experience is reduced by 50%. So yeah. Right here, you get 1% of, for the red buff. This is the red buff. It obviously doesn't say that, but this is the red buff. So anyways, so slows down, whatever. Burn damage is kind of increased late game, a bit little less early game. And the duration of both the blue buff and red buff have been reduced by 30 seconds. I actually noticed that my buffs were disappearing a bit sooner than usual. So I was kind of wondering that. And finally, I'm explained by this change. And now I know. So yeah, you don't have your buffs as long as you do. And now you actually gain 1% of your maximum hit point every 5 seconds. So it's kind of like a sustained buff. It's kind of cool. And yeah, it helps for the first early clears for a while, for 120 seconds after you killed the red buff. So it's kind of good. But since you're going to give it to your 80 carries, they do already have lifesteal. It kind of emphasizes sieging again, you know, the 1% per 5 seconds. So I can see that. And then right here, straight up nerf, 30 seconds less, but whatever. Now finally, oh, well, let's go over the Scuttle Crab first. Okay. So this one respawns every 3 minutes, and and you also get a speed boost and a free ward for 75 seconds, I think it is. Yeah, 75 seconds on the dragon or baron pit, and it always runs when it attacked. Honestly, the Scuttle Crab is tanky as, I don't know if I should swear, but tanky as fuck. Tanking it down takes like 5 seconds, 8 seconds. So if you aren't a high damage jungler, it will take you a while. So like if you're tank Nautilus or something, you're just gonna be like, oh. And you don't want to smite it because it doesn't give anything, like smite buffs. It doesn't give anything, so there's no point in smiting it. So, yeah. But generally for Dragon Pit, it's actually really good because you can't clear the ward. And yeah, early game, it's gonna be really good. So you can see when people are doing Dragon or whatever. The only thing I don't like about it is the speed boost. I actually, whenever I kill a Scuttle Crab, I probably use a speed boost at least once. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it would be good in like competitive play, but for me, I just like, when I kill the Scuttle Crab, I walk in it once and then I, you know, get a movement speed and then I walk somewhere else and I'll never use it again. I don't know if my allies use it, but I don't find the speed boost that great, since I don't use it that much. But maybe in competitive, you'll see some good. Honest opinion, meh. You could just put a ward. So it does give 30 gold. I'll give you that, but whatever. Okay, so this one. So the Krugs, aka the Golems. So you get a stun for every first and fifth hit. This means that you don't take as much damage. You don't take damage. You don't take as much damage since you're stunning the enemies and monsters in your jungle, and you also do true damage to a tower. That's pretty good. So I recommend this if you're getting, if you want to take less damage in the jungle. This one's a PvP buff. Basically gives you true oracles for 10 seconds when an enemy ward spots you. So that means you know that the area is warded, so you can clear out that ward. It's really good for like when you want to gank. So definitely when you want to smite a jungle cramp, or sorry, if you want to gank. Do the raptors, aka the wraiths, and then just smite it, get that buff. This one's pretty good. So when you smite the wolf, you get vision of that. You get vision of that portion of the jungle. So if an enemy wants to invade you, that wolf will spot them, and then they'll probably be scared and run out. Or if you smite the enemy wolf in their jungle, you can find where they are. So it's really good if you're in the enemy jungle and then you smite the wolf. Since you have vision of the enemy. So I find this one is only good if you're in the enemy jungle. If you're in your own jungle and you want to protect it, sure, maybe. But if the enemy is going to invade your jungle and this is up, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's better to smite it in the enemy's jungle. In your jungle, it's like meh. Like, if you know they're going to invade, they must be smart because they know they can do this invade and, you know, get away with it. So, yeah, just do it in the enemy's jungle. It's really good for that. This one's pretty good for helping you clear the camps faster. So do the white or gromp, you know, a big frog. And yeah, you get the damage per second. It's really good. Although it's kind of like, you can kind of feel it, honestly. I feel it, like, it's like barely minimal. I feel it somewhat, but I don't feel it makes that big of an impact. So I feel like it could have a little buff. But you know, the extra damage does help when clearing stuff. So when you smite the red, you get 20% of your maximum health. This is the most useful one. Smiting the blue buff is somewhat useful, but not as useful as this one since the jungle kind of kicks your ass a bit. Sorry. So the next thing we're going to do is a bit of this. So I've actually noticed that the jungle camps don't respawn as much as they did before. They added 50 more seconds, so instead of every like minute-ish, it's now every minute and 40 seconds. So no more farming the jungle for until 20 minutes and then having your Feral Flare. Although you can just buy Feral Flare straight up if you have the money. So base health attack damage. So the jungle kicks your ass a bit more now. Actually, it never kicked your ass in season 4, but now it will. So be scared of that. Be really afraid of the Wraith camp, for sure, or Raptors or whatever, chicken, and greatly increases the damage. A small camp. Oh, that's why the Raptors kick my ass, because there's like 3 of them. Okay, or no, it's a scaling. It's a scaling. I read that wrong. So whatever. And okay, whatever. And now experience has been buffed, like, you know, movement speed, no more kiting. Wait, you never kited wraiths. I'm not sure what that is about, but basically, yeah, more damage on these guys. Also that's why they kick my ass too. And experience, you know, just a bit more, so it's a bit more reward, of course. And yeah, I did notice a health increase on the buffs, and like kind of they were more tankier. The damage though, I felt like I was taking, like, I don't know, I was jungle Lucian, and they didn't do that much damage to me when I was tanking some damage from them, so I was kind of confused. You won't notice this damage, I think, with the machete change. I'll show you in a bit. And also having that red buff, maximum health. Yeah, so you won't notice that much. So the experience on blue buff and red buff have been reduced. This means that you can start a golem camp and get to level 2. I'm not sure, I haven't tested this on wraiths or wolves, but I'm pretty sure you can get to level 2 if you smite that camp first. So yeah, just smite the camp and you'll be level 2. Any camp you can start anywhere, so that's why you can start golems or gromp or anything else, and then to your blue buff, red buff. So that's kind of cool. Makes them a bit more variety of jungle routes, which I explained in my other video. And yeah, that's all you really need to know. So this change, champions gain 10 less experience. Cool. This penalty caps at 50%. So it just means, yeah, gank. They don't want that farm emphasized junglers, Udyr, Master Yi, all that. They want you to actually gank. So no more like, no more farming until 20 minutes. So you keep your buffs. I've actually done this in the PvE. I've wondered. I'm like, why do I still have my red buff and blue buff when I died in the jungle? And this explains it. So yeah, no more broken shard. Okay, finally we get to do this part. Just let me check how much. Okay, so finally, okay, so you get health and mana per second while in combat with monsters. This is really good. Oh, and you deal 30 magic damage on hit to monsters over 2 seconds when you're in combat. This means this is why 80 carry junglers get a buff, because now they can, like, if you guys saw my jungle route, you saw how I do the 80 carry junglers. They basically have this like poison ticking, so that it keeps re-aggroing the creeps or whatever, so they can like go to the spot, and the monster will go left and right, since this magic damage keeps doing it every second, so it just keeps aggroing it. And it is a better machete. Yeah, it's definitely a better machete, I think, so than this one, unless you are auto attacker. But anyways, I don't know, it's a change. You'll get used to it. Okay, so the next item is Poacher's Knife. Okay, so let me compare this. I hope you guys know what this do. The Poacher's Knife and Ranger Trailblazer does. Basically 20 more gold, 175% movement speed, decreased over 2 seconds if you smite the large monster in enemy jungle, and your cooldown on your smite is half if you smite the large monster in enemy jungle. So smite is 60 seconds. And with using this on a large monster to kill it is 30 seconds, and you get all the stuff. Now let's look at this. The cooldown of smite is reduced by 15 seconds, making it 45 seconds. Smite also deals half a damage and stuns them. And you also get your 15% of missing health and mana. This is really good. This is really good. So is this. You don't take as much damage from the jungle. Okay, so one complaint when I'm looking at this stupid item is, first of all, it only works in an enemy jungle. And okay, so let's say you're in their jungle at the Wraith and Golem side. Let's say you do their Golems, okay, and then you smite it. That's at 30 seconds, okay? If you're in your own jungle, you can use this whenever. You can use this at the beginning. Now, it takes you 5 seconds to do a camp, so Now you're at 40 seconds, let's say, in comparison with the Poacher's knife. Um, since this is reduced to 30 seconds, the next thing you're probably going to do if you want to counter jungle more is their Wraith Camp. But you can't because it's probably not up. As your smite will probably be at 20 seconds by the time you get to their Wraith Camp. So, and the only bonus you're actually getting is 20 more gold when you're smiting that camp. So is it worth it? This is a temporary thing, so it's not even worth it. Now comparing it to this you can use in either side of the jungle. You can use it in yours. And you also get sustain. So when I look at this and look at this, I'm just like, what the hell is this? It's totally garbage until they buff it. 20 plus more gold is nothing. You gain 20 gold in 8 seconds over the passive amount of income you get. So this item is complete garbage. Don't ever get this. I don't even think I'd get this on Nunu. Even though I said I would. I just wanted a bit of variety in that video. So until this gets buffed, don't ever use it. It's really, really bad. Skirmisher Saber. Okay. Now, so it does 18 to 69 bonus true damage based on your level. And I'm not really looking at this. Reduce their damage to you by 20%. It's actually really good for using it on 80 carries and like carries to get that damage reduction. And you also have true sight of them for the next 6 seconds. So I think it works on like people like Twitch. I think this is what it's good for. It's like facing a Cully. Oh yeah, if you're facing a Cully, I think this might work. I'm not sure, but basically, okay. I want to go over this 18 and 69 bonus true damage. So let's like look at Aurelia for a second. So basically, I did my research and it's right here. 15 damage plus 3 times level. So if we want to get Aurelia Hiten style, and she gets her full damage spike at level 9, since this will be maxed out, so you know how powerful that is. And then throughout mid game, she's actually really powerful with that true damage. So basically, let's check this out. So at level 9, what is her damage? It's going to be 3 times 9 plus 15. So that's 42 damage on hit. We're going to have a level 3 Aurelia W at level 9 with our smite. So, and then once we're level 18, we're actually going to have, once we're level 18, we're going to have a 69 true damage when we smite someone. And yeah, it's really good to compare this with Aurelia's W. But when we're level 18, you know that Aurelia kind of falls off, like her true damage W kind of falls off. You don't see her as powerful as she was mid-game and early game. Late game, she's just kind of like a bruiser, a decent bruiser. And so having 69 true damage on hit is pretty decent and good. But honestly, when you go to level 18, I don't think it'll be as impactful as you would think. So this item is like really good for obviously trying to counter jungle and fight the enemy jungler. But I think Trailblazer is going to be the #1 winner. Maybe, like, I'm not sure. This could be good. Honest opinion, I've used it once and it was like, I think it was on Lucian. It was like when the jungle actually got released. I don't know if they buffed it or nerfed it or whatever, but basically I didn't like it that much. So yeah, it's good for jungling, counter jungling, whatever. But anyways, we'll skip that ahead. Just get the Trailblazer. This one's not as consistent because you have to fight the enemy. And of course your smite is still at 60 seconds. So yeah, just stick to Trailblazer. Stalker's Blade though, this is pretty good for ganking. This is really good. So I'd use this on anyone who doesn't have a slow and needs to get in those ganks, like Lucian. Who else is there? There's also Ezreal. I'd use this on Ezreal. And you're not looking at this, obviously. You know that if you get 3 hits with this Skirmisher Saber, you're doing more damage than you would with the true damage here. The only good thing and great thing about this is the peel that you can get. 50% slow is really strong. For 2 seconds, IMO, that's like super powerful. So especially for peeling or whatever, or chasing down enemies, this is the smite you want to go, especially if you're gank focused or something, or if you try and want to gank. So I like that a lot. But Trailblazer is the #1 opinion and my winner. So next thing, we're going to be going over the item enchantments. So Devour, Juggernaut, you know, the new Spirit Ancient Golem, the new Feral Flare, the new Spectral Wraith, and a new Elder Lizard. So every item basically gets a buff. So Spectre Wraith gets 10% more cooldown, and Warrior loses the true damage, but gains 10 damage and 10 armor penetration. Juggernaut, it gains, I'm not sure, yeah, okay. It loses that old, stacking health percent increase, whatever, but you get the flat, it finally actually changes to its old ancient golem, and it's probably going to be really strong on people who have strong base damage like Elise and, who else used it in season 3 or 4? I don't remember. Yeah, people who use it, maybe even Aatrox, he has pretty good base damage too. But, and this is the new Feral Flare, 50% attack speed, really a big upgrade. And of course, you don't have to stack, so you get the 40 magic damage on hit. I think Feral Flare did 30 damage. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, basically. And it has the Feral Flare aspect, of course, when you kill large monsters and stuff, so that's pretty good. Okay, so which is the best item? The best item is actually Devour. The stats it gives is incredible. If you think of magic damage on hit as attack damage, that's 40 AD every time you auto attack. So this is actually really strong right here. And of course, 50% attack speed. I was actually looking at this earlier. I don't think I'll show it now. But basically, the stats, the amount of stats differentiate with gold or whatever. This is the most gold worthy item there is that you can get. So I actually think this Devour will be the strong item for now. And of course, this item will be the second strongest. This item is going to be the shittiest. And this item is going to be the third strongest. Actually, I'm not sure about Juggernaut and Warrior. They're equally the same, I think. Or Juggernaut's slightly better. But basically, this item is super strong right now. So I think you're going to see the comeback of Feral Flare junglers. Or whatever people want to play style. So yeah, so Xin Zhao, let's look at Xin Zhao. So he had a problem stacking Feral Flare. Now he doesn't because he can just buy this item, and now he's gonna have 40 magic damage on hit. And also, like, the best thing about this item is that you can build this item and then go straight tank. You don't need anything else. So I think like people like Warwick is gonna have a fun time with this item. For 2,250 gold and giving like a free wit's end, and also having like jungle power, it's really, really powerful. Also, it scales into the late game. I remember, I think I had like 126 magic damage on Udyr when I was playing in the PvE. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. But he's a pretty farm heavy jungler. But yeah, this item is the late game item you want, since it does scale, and it's probably the best. So expect to see lots of Feral Flare. This item, Elise, Tenacity. My Tenacity is back. Yeah, so you guys know if you guys play in Season 4, obviously. This item, get it on mages. This item, get on Lee Sin. And that's going to be the end of this video. It's been 23 minutes already, so I think that wraps this part. And be sure to look out for the second part if you want to see the discussion about changes with champions, and of course the elixirs, everything down here too, everything above the jungle items, all of this. So be sure to watch that video. And yes, if you guys have any questions, I'll be sure to try and answer them in the comments below. So yeah, I am Panzer Dragon, and hopefully we'll see you next time.